The Interview Show would like to thank Cards Against Humanity, Lifeway Foods, It Takes Guts, Field Notes, vintage-styled, made-in-the-USA pocket notebooks at 401 North Racine in Chicago or fieldnotesbrand.com, and Lagunitas. Beer speaks, people mumble, except on The Interview Show.
So take me through the process, the audition, here's a role that I could possibly get, and I think it's going to be the biggest thing in the world, or I have no idea what it's going to be.
I auditioned for a bunch of different stuff. You kind of just are doing it all the time, and you try not to get too attached to anything because you audition, you get really excited, you read up, you do some research about it, and then turn it in 3 days later. And then it's gone. And then you kind of just have to sort of forget about it. So this one I definitely got excited about, definitely was really into it. But I was I sent the audition, sent the tape in, and then didn't hear back for like 2 months or 2.5 months. And then did another tape, didn't hear back for another 2 weeks or something like that. And then Skyped with the brothers, who are the two guys who did the thing, and then found out that I got it and just peed my pants.
So I don't even know what it's like to send a tape.
Sure.
What do you do?
It's very glamorous. It's a very glamorous procedure.
I'm sure.
You get your closest roommate, Matt, who is my closest roommate, and you make sure that you're not just in your underpants. You have to put a full outfit on, and then you set your camera up, and you make sure it looks okay. And I've gotten better at it with time and stuff. And then, you just kind of work on the side and work on the scene. It's helpful, of course, if you put some time in beforehand. Obviously.
Yeah.
But
you do something from the show, or do you just say, here's a monologue that I did in high school and I love it?
Something from the show. Usually they'll send you something from the show, or they'll send you the material. Yeah. So they sent me the camera when I break the guy's camera. Yeah. Sent me that scene. So you tape it, you work it a couple times, send a couple into your agent people, and then they'll send it in to the people who are casting. It's a big long line that I don't think I even.
People got to make the money.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I don't really understand it.
So your character, Steve, is on the surface. You could say, this guy is your typical. But I don't know whether it's the script, obviously, but it's also the way you play him, because if I think about 80s movies, and I grew up in the 80s, the movies that I saw, a lot of times that guy is just plain old kid. That's all you got. He's often rich. He's often got a distant father.
He's got a good car.
He's got a great car. And Steve's got that situation nailed down.
The archetype is there, for sure.
Exactly. But this breaks through it, because I don't think there's an episode that doesn't have both you doing something that you say, God, that's awful, and another scene in which you do something that says, this guy's vulnerable, this guy's sweet, this guy's great.
I guess that's kind of what I was just trying to do. I don't know. A lot of those 80s movies, the stuff that I kind of referenced, was exactly what you're talking about. The archetype of the guy who's just a total. But I don't know. I got cast in the part and was okay. Showed up for the first day and was excited, really nervous, obviously. But at the end of the day, that guy, Steve, doesn't he's not trying to be a. Nobody in their right mind is just going out into the world and being oh yeah, I'm here to cause a mess. I'm gonna be all these people, and none of you will like me. Who would ever do that?
The characters think they're good people.
Yeah, everybody kind of thinks they're their own hero of their own story. So I kind of just wanted to make it feel like he was doing the wrong thing for reasons that he thought was right. So he was constantly taking a step forward and backwards, and just not a one-dimensional guy. I guess at the end of the day, someone who, because I had friends in high school who were really not so nice guys. I played hockey, and a lot of guys, exactly what you're talking about, the sports guys being kind of mean sports guys. They were kind of mean outside of Boston.
Oh, me too.
Oh, really? Where?
What town?
Newburyport.
I grew up in Newton.
Newton?
Yeah.
My dad's from Newton, Wilson.
No way.
Yeah. Cheers. Again.
A great connection that will be totally edited out.
Yeah. Keep that out.
What brought you out to Chicago?
DePaul. I went to DePaul University on the north side.
Yeah. So what came first, the music, because you're in a band called Post Animal,
Right, yeah.
or acting?
Probably about the same. I did like theater camp when I was a little kid, and like made videos with my sisters, and was interested in music, but I didn't like ever want to sing, or I thought it was cool to play music for sure. Or I saw School of Rock, saw that movie, and I was like, oh my God, like that seems like the coolest thing ever.
So it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
It did for me
amazing.
and like a lot of my friends. We all were like, this is the real. We got to start doing this. So well, I started playing music that way, and then kind of continued through high school and did like some art and theater stuff, and kind of got more serious towards the end of high school.
So you're the anti-Steve in real life.
Well, I don't know, kind of, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't like a cool kid for sure. No, I was definitely not a cool kid. I was like kind of I did like the lights and the sound for theater, so definitely not the coolest. I didn't have a nice car. I had like an old Volvo, and
It's solid.
so, yeah, it was a great
It's
car.
safe.
It
It's
was
safe.
safe. It was a very safe choice for me.
And nowadays, the coolest kid has the safest car.
Yes, exactly.
So what, I mean,
exactly.
I don't know how old you are, and you can tell me if you want, but the 80s movies, were they part of your vernacular growing up?
Like the John Hughes movies were not really quite my thing,
Yeah.
which is kind of what I found for a lot of the stuff that I did in the show. But I was like a huge Star Wars fan. Still am like a ginormous Star Wars fan. And Indiana Jones and Back to the Future, and I love The Thing, and Poltergeist was a big movie that I really liked. And I don't know, I just really like that adventure movies, a real sense of adventure. So I definitely felt that, especially with like the little kids. I mean, that's like their whole thing. They have this great like tale that they're going on. So reading that, I was like, oh, this is like in my wheelhouse of things that I think are just so cool.
I mean, one thing in the show, and the show is obviously, it's a sci-fi show, but it is a, you know, if you've seen Goonies, it's got a lot of those qualities, and a quintessential scene that you remember from 80s movies are the kids riding on bikes on their own without parents. And that's, I mean, 80s movies and 80s real life have their differences, but there is some real truth in that. And you must have grown up in the 90s.
Yeah, I was born in '92, so everyone can figure that out.
So what did you feel? I mean, at some point. All right.
Oh, sorry.
40 to 50-year-olds in the audience, calm down. People are younger.
Me.
He's right here as proof. But nowadays, you know, like my son goes out riding a bike, but what we do is we hire 2 security guards to ride right behind him. Where are you? And when I was a kid, you'd go out for 5 hours, and I didn't have a watch or anything.
Yeah.
And so where is your generation on that spectrum? Were you able to do what you wanted?
It was still pretty like low key and pretty loose. We only had 1 security guard, not 2.
Yeah, that's
There was
right.
only 1 guy following. No. I don't know. I remember being definitely able to. I didn't have a cell phone until I remember getting a cell phone in high school. I think about junior year of high school, I got a cell phone, and I couldn't
when I was
text.
32.
Okay.
Why couldn't you text? You want to be able to text.
My
To
dad
communicate with
didn't
your
get
parents.
that part of the phone.
Oh, the feature.
It was that I had like a little game, and then I could call my mom and my dad. That was pretty much it. So just to tell them, hey,
I'm playing the game.
Yeah, I'm playing the not right now, but after. So yeah, when we were like little though, we could like run around the neighborhood and kind of cause some sort of mayhem, which is
Switching gears just a little bit.
sure.
Switching gears completely, actually. No transition in this question. At what point did you know that Stranger Things was a huge deal? That people were loving it, and that, I don't know if my life's changed forever, but that people are going to recognize me, things are cool, I'm going to get new gigs, there's going to be a second season, all those kind of things.
I don't think there was like a distinct like moment. I don't know. I just kind of like started realizing like a lot of people started reaching out to me and saying stuff, or if I was at a bar just like having a drink with my roommates and stuff, people would be like, "Wait a second, you look like really familiar. Where are you from?" or something like that.
What do you say to that? I'm from here. I went to DePaul.
Yeah.
I was
say
on
that.
Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Like, you don't
that's
say
the
that.
thing. You don't want to seem like
wanna
a
say
total
that.
Say, some people will be like, oh, wait a second, do you know like Josh, Tim? And I'll say, Josh, Tim, no, I don't know Josh, Tim. They're like, wow, you look really familiar. And they'll just like kind of look at you for sort of
And you
a
know
little
exactly
bit.
why you look familiar.
But you don't want to say,
I'm
I'm on a television show, actually.
Yeah.
You don't say, I'm on TV. And, well, yeah. Everyone's been really nice and it's exciting. I feel fortunate to be able to, like, very soon out of school, have a job where I can support myself doing something that I really enjoy is something that I didn't expect to be able to do until I was, you know, way older. So it's great that I can like pay my rent and be like, cool. So the other stuff is just like a cherry on top of the whole thing. It's great.
Well, thanks for coming on. I can't wait for season 2 and for what's next for you.
Thank you very much. Thanks
Joe
for having
Keery.
me. Thanks for having me, man.
The American Songbook, the music you grew up hearing, learned to dance to, and fell in love with.
Nothing's better than hello. Nothing's worse than goodbye.
Now, for the first time ever, comes legendary singer David Degler's 3-disc set, covering all the classic hits you know and love.
Get a little bit of that Kentucky juice. Get it in me.
In the basement of your love.
In the basement of your love. Thank you.
Baby, Stop That.
Everybody remembers this one.
Baby, stop that.
4 decades worth of the chart toppers you know and love, all performed as original David Degler acoustic covers.
Well, stay away from my Chevy. Stay away from my Chevy.
3 compact discs filled with the music you'll know each and every word to.
Talking social issues, social issues.
You'll find the folk classics,
P-E-A-C-E.
the modern hits,
It goes beep, 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 beep.
the modern rock staples,
When that second meteor shower came down.
and even music from today.
Well, a hippity hop when I came to town. I was walking down the street and there was no one around.
David Degler's This Is the Music of Your Life has 85 of music's most adored classics. Act now and you'll receive a 4th disc filled with even more hits.
Poodles and skirts, poodles and skirts. Oh, I love poodles and skirts.
Order David Degler's This Is the Music of Your Life today for only $24.95 and hear the songs you love in a whole new way.
Acapella number 5 was hot. Acapella number 6 was not. And since acapella number 7 tonight. Acapella number 7 tonight.
Guests on the interview show all share one thing in common. They take risks. We'd like to thank Lifeway Foods, makers of probiotic kefir, for making possible this week's It Takes Guts interview.
And this one here is a sort of a lighthearted tale in a way. It's about my great aunt, and she was a banjoist, and she lived around Galax, Virginia, in a little town down there. And we lived in the northern part of the state, and so I had heard her music. I only met her one time, but I'd heard her. We had one of her records at home, and I was a little bit familiar with her style. But you know, like she played in the clawhammer, old school style, like that, the mountain style. And I was a banjoist. This is before I played the guitar. I was a banjoist in the. I keep moving my hands like that. That indicates something. I was a banjoist in the 3-finger style, which was popularized by Earl Scruggs. So you know how it's like when you have a great aunt and you playing different banjo styles. It's like a recipe. It's for trouble, or at least comedy. So the day that we went to see her, we played for each other, and neither of us really liked the way the other one played at all. But the difference was that she told me that she didn't like it. I kept, my own counsel about it, but because I was just 10, and she was like 100 or something. So I didn't say anything. And then the other memorable thing about the day was that, and I don't think we knew this until we arrived at her, front porch, but she was a newlywed at the time, and she had recently married this guy that was a fiddler who was just slightly older than she was. And So this put me in mind of some unwelcome thoughts. But anyway, this is called Aunt Peg's New Old Man. We came up the hill to meet him in the dirt patch he was weeding. That was our first look at Aunt Peg's new old man. Now Uncle Hank was 75. He lived well and then he died, and none of us had nothing against her new old man. She liked his fiddling, no doubt liked his help on the rural route, and the rest didn't dare thinking about Aunt Peg's new old man. We sat down and we got fed along grace, but what a spread! The chicken was just 1 hour dead, and the stew was made of barley. I pulled out my banjo after a while, but he didn't like the scrug style. Listen up, boy, this year's called going down to Raleigh. Old Aunt Peg begun to frail, and they got going on the Texas gales. Hit my ears like an awful wail. I wish I could hear it again. No, he had no use for the modern stuff. His back was strong, his hands were rough, but he rocked her old age. Sure enough, Aunt Peg's new old man. They played dances and made the rounds, Galax to Rocky Mount. The tunes they knew no one could count. It was all in their heads and hands. And you could do worse as a widow than to find a man to spade and hoe and raise a little hell with a long bow. Aunt Peg's new old man. Yeah, she liked his fiddling, no doubt liked his help on the rural route, and the rest did not bear thinking about Aunt Peg's new old man. She liked his fiddling, no doubt liked his help on the rural route, and the rest I don't want to think about Aunt Peg's new old man. That's that one. Thank you.
Talk about the record. Upland Stories. I'm not a complete geographic moron, but I don't really know the region. It's.
Oh, I would say Kentucky and Tennessee, like above the Deep South.
Okay.
And I guess West Virginia and in there, and so the songs mostly take place in that area.
Where you grew up.
Uh-huh.
What brings you back to? You've been here for a while. What brings you back to? Is it that you can't write a good country song about Puerto Rico, or? And you can only write about this region, or is it these are some stories that I had that I wanted to tell?
She had a San Juan way of walking. No, that region, I like the music of that region is really dear to me, and I seem to ventriloquize, so to speak, that kind of music better than any other area's music. So I keep returning to it musically and culturally. I like the literature of that area as well. And then, I mean, the fact that I was a child there kind of makes it more rich, maybe haunted in a way. You know, my mind keeps drifting back to old days.
What does, in your mind, a good country song do that another genre, you're like, no, if you're playing a pop song or a rap song or a hard rock song, it's not. It can be great or not great, but it won't be able to do what a country song can do.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think because I think about that a lot, and I think what appeals to me about country lyrics is that they go into this sort of almost banal everyday area and stuff that we all experience. You know, falling in love, and then difficulty, and marriage, and then the tensions of that, and then child rearing, and then the death of loved ones, and then our own death, and all these universal, yet close to the ground unromantic experiences, a lot of them, and sometimes mortifying to like really dissect and think about in detail. But country music just dives in there, and it dives into to the point where it's looking at it so brutally sometimes that it risks being artless, but somehow the best country songs like manage to hang on that level where they're almost pulled into the sea into the swamp of despondent meaninglessness, but they make a kind of enduring art out of the common stuff that all of us go through.
What's up with your kids all out of the house now?
No, I got one still there for another 2 years. He's a junior in high school, and then I've got a 34-year-old and a grandson by him, and then the middle guy is at Bard, and he's 19.
But you have if you have a junior in high school, you have somebody who can basically, you can go out for the evening.
Oh yeah, I'm free as a lark, you know.
What is that? So what is that like now? Like I had 2 days like that this past summer, and I was so bored. I went out and bought a bike. I was so bored.
For yourself?
For myself. I was just like, I'm going to go on a bike ride. If I need to return this bike tomorrow, I will. But I have nothing. It's 3 o'clock, and I've run out of everything that I ever wanted to do.
That's the amazing thing. You can't, for the life of you, think what you used to do with all that time that you had when you were, 22 years old.
So what do you do? Like, I know you make music and tour and have a successful, nice career, but what do you do when you're not doing that, when you're just sitting around the house?
You know, Mark, I had one of those days today, as it happens, and I got up and I walked the dog and I sat around and I swam at the gym and then I made a long lunch and I read a short story. It was great.
That's the great.
Yeah.
How did that? That's the greatest on a Friday.
On a Friday.
That's the greatest day of all.
It's great. It's gonna be fine. How old are your kids?
They are 6 months and 2 months and 1 month and 3 weeks. No, I got one who's 11.
So you had some help with this project.
Yeah,
it sounds like. Yeah.
I got one who's 11 and one who's just turned 6, so it's gonna be. I got my work cut out for me.
And the 11-year-old.
I'm not gonna make a long lunch for a while.
Yeah. It's gonna be great.
My 11-year-old's cool. My 11-year-old I can just, hey, I'm going to ignore you for the next 3 hours. Okay, Dad. But 6, you can't do that at 6.
It's going to be fine, Mark. It really is going to be fine.
Robbie Fulks.
I was working on a project with Edward Albee, who's very intimidating. And I said to him earlier, I said, does anybody ever call you Eddie? Just thought I'd break the ice.
Yeah.
And he said, my mother called me Eddie. And I detested my mother. And I decided let's not do that anymore.
The Interview Show would like to thank Cards Against Humanity, Lifeway Foods, It Takes Guts, Field Notes, vintage-styled, made-in-the-USA pocket notebooks at 401 North Racine in Chicago or fieldnotesbrand.com, and Lagunitas. Beer speaks, people mumble, except on The Interview Show.